Good afternoon, cult members. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is Pop Culture Cult Special News Report. God, we're a bunch of fucking idiots. Okay, so the world exploded this morning because news came out that Henry Cavill is out as Superman in the DC universe.
Yep.
Now, we were just talking about this before we hit record, and trying to dissect what's going on is like trying to figure out the Da Vinci Code right now.
But that is Warner Brothers' MO right now.
Right. So what we've got is there was a 4-picture deal with Henry Cavill and Warner Brothers / DC.
Right.
To have him play Superman.
Right. He has done 3 of those.
He's done Man of Steel, which a lot of people are starting to come around on.
Yep.
I rewatched it again a couple weeks ago. It is a movie that I have gone back and reappreciated for what's happened and stuff like that. It was a Zack Snyder film. We also had BVS, Batman vs. Superman. The ultimate cut is way better than the theatrical cut.
Yep.
Again, a Zack Snyder, dark, gritty kind of thing. And then we had Justice League.
Yep.
Which we all know the issues with Justice League, and it was Zack Snyder again. It was going to be very dark. It was supposed to be 2 movies, and they decided to make it 1 movie, and then they didn't like the direction, so they fired Zack Snyder, even though his child had died, and then they brought in Joss Whedon and made it really funny, so when you watch it, it looks like 2 different movies. All of that has been going on. Henry Cavill hasn't been the problem of why these movies haven't been doing well.
Right. Right. And the fan outcry since actually probably before Justice League, when they started apparently just throwing everything against the wall and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this, and the fans have been like, can we get another Man of Steel 2?
Yes.
Can we get another Superman movie? No, instead we're just not gonna do anything with you.
Right. And for what they've been doing, if I'm Henry Cavill and I have 1 picture left, and this is kind of how it has been, kind of the discussion, how it kind of started, was he has 1 picture left. He wants to do Man of Steel 2. He wants Ralph McQuarrie to write it and direct it, who did Mission Impossible, Fallout, and Ghost Protocol.
Yes.
And he wants Ralph McQuarrie to do Man of Steel 2.
Yep.
And Warner Brothers has decided to change the direction in which the DC film universe is going, to maybe a much more lighter kind of feel with Aquaman and Shazam.
Right.
Now, the thought is that Henry Cavill was going to show up as Superman in Shazam.
Right.
Because Billy Batson idolizes Superman. And it would have been a cool little cameo. Well, they couldn't do the cameo filming because of scheduling conflicts that Henry had with Mission Impossible Fallout, because Tom Cruise broke his leg.
Right.
It all comes around to Tom Cruise in the end.
And mustache gate.
And Warner Brothers was asking, and there's that whole mustache gate. I could go into that, but whatever. So they've been renegotiating a new deal for Henry Cavill.
Right. And making him more of a character that shows up almost like a Tony Stark or Nick Fury, where he just shows up,
connective tissue between all the different movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which actually is a really cool idea. I like that general idea of having Superman be the connective tissue to all the different universes, because that kind of happens a lot in the comics.
It is, but that doesn't necessarily work with a lot of the stuff that they've been throwing at the wall.
Right.
So
you can't throw Superman in the Joker movie. You can't throw him in. You really shouldn't throw him in Gotham City Sirens, and stuff like that,
right?
But they've been trying to make it work, And I think there's also a little bit of this too. One of the reports, I've read 17 different reports today. So like I said, it's been trying to hard to what's makes sense and what doesn't make sense and what's people just
speculation
or whatever. But one of the reports I did see was he's doing very well as Superman as the character, but he wants, obviously he's the face of Superman. He wants a little bit more money, but he also wants some more executive producer credit. So if he wants more executive producer credit, which means he has ideas on what he wants to do moving forward as the character.
Right.
And if he wants that kind of stuff, you have to negotiate a new deal. And if you're going to negotiate a new deal, then what ends up happening is you get to an impasse. And Warner Brothers is like, well, your 3 movies didn't make shit, and that's your fault. It's not his fault.
Right.
But that's their negotiating tactic.
Right. It's way more Warner Brothers. All you have to do is look at them. How many executives, presidents, whatever, have they gone through in the last 3 or 4 years?
Right.
And directors, and we're going to make this movie and that movie, and it's been
kind of a cluster.
Yeah.
The agent for Henry Cavill came out this morning. So the news broke from THR and Deadline. Were the first ones that were really reporting.
Oh, I thought it was the Hollywood Reporter.
THR is the Hollywood Reporter.
Oh, okay.
I've done the same thing.
Oh, THR. I get it. The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter. You put it all in. Hollywood Reporter was the first one. Deadline was kind of right there behind them. And they reported this story this morning. And then his agent came out on Twitter and said, and this was her quote on Twitter, "Be peaceful. The cape is still in his closet. At Warner Brothers has been and continues to be a partner as they evolved the DC universe. Anticipate a WB statement later today."
So that's agent speak for...
We have at least one more movie.
Still in negotiations, or there is still an active contract, and we're not going to screw the pooch on that right this minute.
Right, but I also like that she started with, just everybody calm down. We're working on something. Just whatever, woosah. And then so later on this morning, Warner Brothers came up with a statement. It's really small print, so I'm going to get really close to the camera. While no decisions have been made regarding any upcoming Superman films, we've always had great respect for and great relationship with Henry Cavill, and that remains unchanged.
That is corporate media, blah, blah, blah.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Warner Brothers. Although I appreciate the agent coming out and saying, "Everybody, calm down. We're still we're working on it. We're trying to get it there. Nothing's set in stone."
Right.
I like to have seen something more from Warner Brothers. This is typical Warner Brothers bull. They need to step up. And we watched Screen Junkies this afternoon. We tried to get some different. After reading all the reports and getting, we were trying to get some different points of view.
Right.
I watched Collider and Screen Junkies and Nerdist News, and then you watched John Campea and Screen Junkies and all them.
Yep.
So we're trying to figure out how to feel about all this. One of the things that Screen Junkies said today, and I happen to agree with them, is they need a single voice.
Yes.
Even if that decision isn't coming from a single voice, they need to have at least one person make it Walter Hamada. He is the head of DC Films. Have him be the voice.
Harold Hamada. Is it Walter Hamada?
Walter Hamada.
Okay.
I looked it up 3 times. It's Walter Hamada.
Okay.
Have him be the singular voice.
Yes.
Even
have
if
him
he
be
just
the Kevin Feige.
I'm not looking for a Kevin. There's only one Kevin Feige on this planet.
But
our Lord and Savior.
The DC version of that.
Kathleen Kennedy. A single voice to come out and just, even if it's like somebody like Kathleen Kennedy, who just comes out and says, "Star Wars fans, it's going to be okay."
Yeah.
But what we're getting is these faceless comments and faceless rumors, and we've talked about this on our main show a bunch of times. there is so much speculation out there right now
Right.
of what Warner Brothers and the DC films are going to be doing. The only three things we know for sure is Aquaman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Everything else is speculation.
Yeah.
The only exception to that is the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. But that's not within the DC continuous universe.
Right,
It's
but-
going to be Elseworlds, a standalone kind of thing.
I don't even...
Which is cool.
I don't even buy any of that. Like Shazam, because it's coming out like
April 5th,
yeah.
my birthday.
Aquaman, which is coming out in November.
Yeah.
And
Wonder Woman, I
Wonder
think,
Woman
is
is
next summer.
in production
Yeah,
or
they'll- yeah, they're
post-production
filming-
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
All the rest of that stuff could
Yeah.
disappear.
Gotham City Sirens, the other 17 Harlequin movies, the
Yeah.
other 14 Joker movies. The big thing that they're also talking about, too, is that because Warner Brothers is trying to turn their focus towards a Supergirl movie and not a Superman movie, is making it very... it's giving Cavill and his representation pause of why would you go that way
Right.
and not stay within the main trilogy, set up those three, and then have all this spin-offs.
Well, I mean, at this point, who knows why they're doing what they're doing. But one of the shows I was watching, they actually had a clip or a quote from someone inside the studio who said that they were trying to go in a more diverse direction,
that was one of the articles I was reading today too.
which would mean more female superheroes
Right.
and
More people of color,
Right.
which would lead us into the next part of this discussion. Part of the Deadline report this morning is that that Warner Brothers and DC Films are eyeing Michael B. Jordan to be the replacement for Henry Cavill. Now, if you want to have the discussion of Superman is not black, he has always been a white male. This is the point where I will accept that conversation. However, it has also been said that Superman is like Bond, and you can have a different type of Bond every 5 to 7 years.
Superman is an alien.
Right.
He could be purple.
Or green. Wait, that's Green Lantern Corps. That's different. Or blue. Wait,
He can
that's
be
the
whatever
green.
color they want him to be. I have two problems with this. I love Michael B. Jordan. He was great in Black Panther. He's great in Creed,
Yeah.
right? He was the bad guy in Black Panther. I need some separation there before he turns into Superman.
So he was also the Human Torch in the new Fantastic Four movie that was terrible.
Oh, and we didn't watch it, so we didn't see that.
you either die as either die in the vein and on the Fantastic Four thing because they can't get that figured out either.
Yeah.
Or you become a super awesome villain.
Yeah.
In Marvel.
Yeah.
You can't then turn around and be Superman. You could be a secondary character
Yeah.
in the DC universe, but you cannot be Superman. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't do
And
that.
I don't see Michael B. Jordan as a plug and play actor. I don't think
He's too good for that. That's bad wording, but
he is. He's a very good actor, and that's probably part of it. I just, there's some people out there. Ian McClellan. You could put him anything that requires an old guy. Put Ian McClellan in
Right,
there, and it
right.
works, right? He's just not. He's not Superman, and like almost everybody that talked about it today, he's not Superman. It has nothing to do with
Right.
the fact that he's black. It just has to do with
his how he is as a person and how he is as an actor doesn't match with the wholesomeness of what
he's too urban just in his demeanor.
Superman as a character throughout time in the comics, in the TV shows, in the movies, all of that stuff, he's always been the aw shucks kind of guy.
Right.
Michael B. Jordan is not an aw shucks kind of guy. No. He is a get in your face and tell you I'm better than you kind of guy, which is why Killmonger was so good for him.
Right.
The other problem that I'm having with this, with the idea of Michael B. Jordan too, is who then, I'm gonna say who, what direction are they trying to go if you bring somebody like Michael B. Jordan in?
Are they going to start the story all over again?
Right.
Because we've all seen the growing up on the farm, dad dies.
I don't need Bruce Wayne's origin story again. I don't need Spider-Man's origin story again. I don't need that.
Right.
I don't need Superman's origin story. We got an amazing origin story with Wonder Woman. And they retconned it and fitted into her introduction in BVS. She was introduced to BVS, stole the movie, and then fit the story in. It made sense. If you come in with a brand new Superman at this point in time, are you going to do another The Man of Steel again?
Right.
You know,
well, and that's the point with the Bond analogy. If you're going to say, you know, we always thought of Superman, the Superman character, as a Bond character where it could be replaced by a new person every time. Great. But move the story forward.
Yeah.
Stop going back and telling the previous story all over again, and then you get to the point where we're getting a new story, and they change, and now we go back. Do some.
The problem too
that
that Warner Brothers and DC film are having right now is that the TV side is nailing it.
Yeah.
The TV side is nailing it with 4th, 5th, 7th layer characters. If you're talking about Legends, and Berlanti is killing all of those shows.
Right.
And they're doing such a great job. And storytelling, now they have a longer period of time to do storytelling and character development, stuff like that.
Well, they could do that in the movies if they would stop, A, forcing them to fit the movie into less than 2 hours, and B, doing an arc like Marvel did.
Yes.
This is we're going to start here and go here and go here, and we're going to tell this giant story.
And I hate being the person that comes around here and says, you should do it like Marvel. I'm not necessarily saying that you have to do it like Marvel, but Marvel has set the blueprint. And the way you set the blueprint is you have your main characters. You have Iron Man and Thor and Captain America, and you set them up as characters, and then you do a meetup.
Yeah.
After that meetup, then you come in with a little bit more obscure characters, Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, and then you have a meetup.
Well, and if you think about it, this isn't a Marvel. Marvel has made it work in the movies, but this is a comic book concept.
Yeah.
Each character has their individual run, and then they do
a big annual where everybody gets
together and does whatever.
So with all this that was going on, we were texting back and forth today. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to film this because we want to talk about it. But what it comes down to for us here at the Pop Culture Cult, what we would like is a main voice from Warner Brothers saying, I'm the bow of the ship. I'm steering. I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Not even if he's not the person or she's the person, have them be the person who's in front of everything. There's a photo of it was a fan art thing, or maybe it was one of the comic book artists, and it's Superman standing in front of all the DC characters, but he's a step in front of everybody else, right? So I want somebody like that to be out in front, to be the voice, the face, the head, the whatever. That's what we need. We have to have that. We also need to have Henry Cavill stay on, and they need to stop messing with him. They need to stop telling him he can't shave his mustache to go finish filming. They need to tell him, they need to allow him to do this character that he obviously loves.
Yeah.
He obviously loves being this character.
Yeah.
And allow him to play the character the way it needs to be done. And we don't need to have another reboot, another reset. If you're going to do that, then, if you're going to do a big, giant reboot reset, and you hit the big red button, as they were saying on Screen Junkies today, which is a great metaphor, if you're going to hit a red button and you have Flashpoint, if you were going to decide to do a big red button reset, and we know Ben Affleck is most likely out, and you're going to replace Henry Cavill, and you're not going to bring back Cyborg and have him be his own character, you have Momoa, Godot, Ezra Miller, and you set up your universe in Flashpoint with those three characters and reboot the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And you bring in a new Superman, you bring in a new Batman, you do the whole thing, and you do an Elseworlds or whatever it is. And just go. But if you're going to do that, you have to say it now. You're going to lose more and more and more people if they don't get out and say, this is the plan. A, B, C, D, we get to B, and it doesn't go as well. We're going to go B 2.0 and still go to C. Not A, F, B, ampersand. Here's a giant eraser. And that's what they're doing right now. So that's our thoughts on the Henry Cavill Superman, whatever they're doing. I don't know. There's a lot more talk here to go on, but right now, as we try to find out more information, hopefully they'll come out and say something here soon. Not holding my breath. What did you guys think of our opinions on our thoughts about Henry Cavill? Is he staying with Superman? Is the DC films lost? Please let us know. Leave us a comment on this video and let us know your thoughts on everything. My lightsaber is going off like crazy right now in the background, so I don't know what's going on.
It's his phone.
Please like this video while you're here, and you've been here this long, please subscribe to the channel. We do stuff like this all the time. Hit the bell. We do movie news. We do trailer reactions, movie reviews, TV talk, all that kind of stuff. You can get a hold of us, too, on our social media network. We're at pop_cult1 on Instagram, at we're at Facebook, at PopCultureCult. We're PopCultureCult1, there we go, on Instagram. And we're at pop_cult1 on Twitter. You can also get a hold of us on the Stardust app. React to everything that you're watching. Just download it for free. Follow us first. DC. Good afternoon now.